Hello out there, world. Hello, Mongoose Magic Moments fans. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It is Thursday, the 29th of January, 2026, and this is another episode of the Mongoose Magic Moments Diaries here in the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve of the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project, right outside our usual viewing area, the Meerkat Mansion Research Base. And of course, I am with, and she doesn't actually need an introduction because she's the most famous yellow mongoose on the planet in history, CUCCIOLINA TSEBOKOLODI, as she looks for tasty snacks in the shade of the watering hole tree. If you would like to name future generations of the Ungulungu meerkats that I have been protecting in the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve of the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project since 2001. You can find the details in the comments on most videos. There are nearly 1,600 videos on the channel, and we are almost on 2 million views. Thank you so much to everybody out there for your support. We do appreciate every single view. Good morning, you're watching Mongoose Magic Moments live in the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve in South Africa. And this is the world famous superstar yellow mongoose, busy having a little auto groom. She is missing her lower two canines, as you can see there when she opens her mouth, which is rare to see. And she's missing all of her lower incisors and a big part of her lip from a terrible, terrible fight she managed to survive, which gave one of our sponsors the name for her of CENERENTOLA, which is Italian for Cinderella, because she has survived unbelievable hardships and she has still come out as the champion dominant female of this territory. It's a fairly cool start to the day. It's just before 10 o'clock in the morning here, and yesterday was very overcast. We had a whole lot of clouds promising maybe a bit of rain because we haven't had any in over 8 months of terrible drought here in the reserve, and the river has completely dried up. Fortunately, we do have a water feature here for the wildlife in front of the mansion, and that is why they are always visiting, because the water feature is filled throughout the year during the day and night. You can see the beautiful greenery of the plants is struggling at the moment, and the whole area, except for this little patch under the tree, which attracts a lot of insects, is desiccated. And this is one of the reasons why the wildlife continue to visit this area, because there's always food to be found around the house with the solar panel light. Many insects visit at night, and there's an abundance of snacks, especially for the meerkats and mongooses in the area. I would like to say a special thank you to our wonderful supporters, and thank you for your likes out there. I do appreciate that. Alessia Torchini from Italy and Asia Chile, and again for your most recent sponsorship. Thank you so much. We are building more wildlife hotels, and you can see one of them there. There's an entire labyrinth of hotels. If you've watched my work, you've already seen it, no doubt, how our superstar wild animals in the reserve actually use these different areas to escape from danger. And even right now, Gakulu is not far away from her safety network, one of the entrances right there. Please do feel welcome to ask me questions while you're on the stream. And if you have any students from schools or universities, please do let them know about the channel, because I like to bring wildlife research to the public around the world, where people can ask me questions directly. And this is my charity work, outreach, conservation through education. You don't need to do an expensive tour visit or buy anything. All you need to do, if you would like to participate, is simply ask your questions. Thanks so much for the heart and likes. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's certainly turning out to be a fantastic start to the day. And as I like to say, Mongoose Magic Moments. You can't go wrong starting off your day watching animals and just being around them. It has been shown that oxytocin is released, for example, with cats and dogs, simply by interacting with them. And by being out in nature, this is known as ecotherapy, and people usually feel more calm and relaxed just by being in the presence of nature. Many people do, in fact, forget that we are all part of nature. It doesn't matter where you are. Take a moment, go have a look at an ant. Go look at a little bit of grass or a flower pushing through a sidewalk. Nature is all around us. And here's the key take from all of this. Although many people have become separated and isolated from the usual nature in rural settings, in the busy lives that many people lead in cities nowadays, in towns, we are all part of nature, and we are all on the same rock. That's right. You, the cockroach, myself, the yellow mongoose right here, Senictus penicillata, we are all traveling around the sun, every one of us. So we all have a common thread right there to start with, and it's a beautiful thread. So much life. If we just take a moment to stop and appreciate it, to listen to the birds. What a pleasure. In the distance, I can hear some people flying through the cobalt dome. It's incredible. Of course, wild animals don't understand what aircrafts are. They must look like huge aerial predators to them. I have never encountered meerkats or yellow mongoose or many of the other species of animals I've worked with since 1993 as a professional nature conservationist, being relaxed when they see these enormous vehicles of travel in the air. It is actually incredible. So many things people take for granted nowadays, I've found, that when I'm around wildlife, it reminds me they have everything they need with them. She's not carrying a backpack, the latest fashions, cell phone. But please don't be mistaken into thinking there isn't social media. Social media is alive and well and is, in fact, way beyond in sophistication compared to human social media. Yes, an SMS, sent short message system. That's what I call them. And smellogram. A shout out to you out there, Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, have you heard of smellogram? Well, it's my intellectual property, and it is in the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve of the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project all the time. Animals are posting new scent or smell messages on all the notifications, warning others to stay out of their territory. And in case you didn't think this, meerkats are constantly fighting with other meerkats from different territories who are coming into their territory. Sometimes, however, they will invite them in if there's a breeding opportunity, for example. All right, here's our chance to move while she is having a drink, probably at the wildlife water feature. Oh, it feels so nice. Taking nothing for granted is what it reminds me about being around wild animals. I am, in fact, going to be filling up the wildlife water feature from our solar pump near the river, and that's what this strange pipe system is doing here right now. It's going to be overflowing into this area. In time, I would like to extend all of this beautiful eco wall with pipes and wildlife hotels. Again, thank you to Alessia Torchini from Italy and Asia Chili from Associazione Suricati Italia. For their wonderful sponsorship again only yesterday evening. Really do appreciate your support so much. And thank you to you, the viewer. Please do ask your question of me anytime during the stream. And if you have questions after the stream, please do put them in the comments. I'm very happy to get back to you and answer your questions. We recently had some people from Poland, and a shout out to you. Hello, good morning. Yes, let me see. JUSO 145, hello. Yes, hello to you, my friend. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for commenting. A lot of people seem to be shy when they first visit the channel, and the live streams here, but please don't be, because I'm all about conservation through education and sharing the information. I see the film star has moved on. Next time you see the wildlife watering feature, because we are in a drought, but I will be filling it up with our reserve borehole water down by the river where I'm heading to fairly soon. But for now, we're following the film star. This is typically how the mongoose will avoid detection, simply moving into the shadows. She's even difficult for me to see from only a few meters away. Hello out there, world. I'm already wearing my hat because it's an incredibly hot day, even before 10 o'clock this morning. It's difficult to imagine that it can get so hot here, but the temperatures can get over 50 degrees centigrade, my friends. Yeah, it's a semi-desert, just like the Kalahari Desert. That's why I'm here in the first place in the Little Karoo in South Africa, and you can visit me. You really can. It is not open to tourists and the public. However, our wildlife supporters and on my channel and other social media who follow my work know this, that they can follow. Drop a comment, please. And thanks for the likes. I really appreciate it. We're getting so many love messages from people around the world because CUCCIOLINA and the 4 baby meerkats that emerged just before the 24th of December last year, I think it was. She's seen something. All right, a brief look into the earth. Let me just check. Oh, her eyes are incredible. I will tell you what that is in a moment. Oh, yes. Looks like snake eagle. Very rare to see in this area. Yeah. Let me just see if I can pick up on that. Oh, it's super. There we go, everyone. You're seeing a predator flying overhead. And did you notice when we were watching her, just that brief glance in the sky? This is an unedited wildlife documentary. Anything can happen. And right there's an aerial predator. So she has not wasted any time getting into the shelter of a tree. Now she's come out in the open again. And the bird is just flying around. She is not, in fact, in any danger from it, because she is very close to all of the wildlife hotels in the area. Let's see if we can follow her. Of course, this is Animal Adventures, Walk with Wildlife. Many people have asked me, what do you mean walk with wildlife? We don't get to walk with wildlife. No, many people around the world who visit game reserves are the outsiders looking in. I myself have done this many times. And of course, I've been the guide and the driver. But I like to say we are the outsiders looking in. Just an object driving around a reserve. However, when you are doing what I am doing as a wildlife research biologist, and if you visit me in South Africa, we actually walk with wildlife. It's one of the few places in the world where you can walk with real wild animals. Not tame animals. These are wild animals that have become used to research biologists and film crews that I work with, like the BBC, National Geographic, and Discovery Channel over many, many years. TSEBOKOLODI. Let's just have a quick look around. She's going into an area where I might not be able to follow for much longer. This is indeed a difficult challenge, and we have not been here before on a live stream. You're getting to see a different part of the view. Welcome out there. Thank you for your likes, friends. Please do drop a comment. You're watching Mongoose Magic Moments. That is the Meerkat Mansion research base. And while we are here at this unusual view, I will zoom into the world famous, it really is the most famous in history, and the only one of its kind in the world, the Stone Dojo Gym, a martial arts dojo. More famous on Google than many dojos in Japan, which inspired me to build this by hand over many, many years. She's busy foraging. Look at that. How lucky we are to see this. A wild yellow mongoose right now. We saw an eagle a moment ago. that she spotted long before I even knew it was there. And it's a lovely calm day with barely a breeze after yesterday's massive storm winds. Thank you for liking the video. There are nearly 1,600 videos and we are almost on 2 million views. And that's thanks to you all, my friends. So thank you, wildlife conservation friends. Yeah, I do appreciate it. Please do join the channel and turn on the bell notification because as you can tell, I work on a wildlife schedule. We don't have any human schedules out there. I can sometimes be up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning watching wildlife using not spotlights, which can disturb and destroy the night vision. And that's a shout out to any guides out there. Tour operators, consider night vision equipment, which allows you to view animals without disturbing or damaging their night vision. Oh, I see we've got comments. Thank you. I am from Sweden. My name is Henrik. That's fantastic, Henrik. Thank you for your comments, and I appreciate you being here. I subscribed as well. Love from Sweden. Henrik, thank you so much, Henrik. It's great to have you on the stream today. I hope you're having an excellent day. I had a research friend in the Kalahari Desert, where I worked for 7 years with Cambridge University Large Animal Research Group in Britain, and the Mammal Research Institute in South Africa, Pretoria University, MRI. Fred from Sweden, he told me about unbelievable research he did in minus 30 degrees centigrade temperatures. Yeah, big respect. That's already a challenge to live in such extreme climates. And I know because this area, as I've mentioned, can be over 50 degrees centigrade. Henrik, thank you so much for your subscription as well. I do appreciate having you on board. And please remember, anybody out there is welcome to tell your friends and students and university students and school students to come join my future streams. This is conservation through education. You can ask a professional wildlife research biologist since 1993 when I qualified. I have many international scientific publications which you can find, and if you cannot, you can simply ask me for links and I will send them to you. All right, I'm not going to follow her at the moment because there's a lot of crunchy vegetation, which is one of the reasons, Henrik and viewers out there, that I make so many sounds. You might be familiar with the brrr sound, and the TSEBOKOLODI sound and others. There are many different sounds that different animals in the area know, but she's heading into an area where I'm not going to follow now because it's out in the open. And if there are any predators, I don't want to be associated with them at the moment. It's very important that I am never confused with a danger that is chasing her. She is foraging for food. In the distance are our neighbors. A shout out to you all if you're watching my stream, which they often are. Of course, we have viewers from around the planet, and we do appreciate every single one of you. Yeah, and it doesn't matter where you are from. It doesn't matter what your profession is. If you even have a profession, perhaps you're just lying in bed, having a nice late sleep today, or, she just sent Mark. It's really cold in Sweden. I can believe that, Jay. Yeah, I should say Henrik. Thank you. Yeah. Well, there she is. I'm going to just keep following her for now because she's going into very secretive pathways. And there's so much crunchy vegetation there. Just to give you an idea, you can see her. Now, that is already extremely close to a wild mongoose. Most of the time, if people even notice them, they will see a mongoose running away. Maybe they'll see it for a few seconds. And if they're lucky, they might notice it from 200 or 300 meters away. And the reason for that is the mongoose and the meerkats are part of a neighborhood watch. They see any danger in an area long before. Now, I don't mind about the crunchy vegetation because she cannot hear it from that distance, so we can get a better view. She's in fact going into the olive orchard of the reserve. Yeah, just a shout out to our agricultural friends. These are organic, wildlife friendly olives. We've got Lucino, Frantoia, Coratina, and Mission varieties here. Planted them back in 2016. They were about 2 years old then. They have produced a few different crops. They are completely organic because we don't use any pesticides or herbicides here. And this is one of the reasons why. The mongooses from the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose family, and she's under that tree right now. Maybe we can see her. Yeah, just make her out there. Can you see that movement? Just watch carefully there. You'll see in a moment. There she is in the shade of that tree. She's in fact aerating the root systems of the plants right now. They will grow better. Water will sink into these new digs underneath them, just like a crater plow used in conservation and agricultural farming to break up compacted soil. It has been shown scientifically that these compacted soil types that have craters put into them allow water to infiltrate. Seeds blow into them. Oh, she's come out again. There she is. And spider webs form. Rodents often enlarge these excavations. And what happens is the meerkats and mongooses are the farmers' friends. They are the plants' friends. They are not eating the roots of the plants. The plant roots grow better, more water goes in, and meerkats and mongoose will often deposit dung or urine right there, compost in other words, at the base of the plant roots. And they'll get a tasty coleoptera larva quite often, a beetle grub, juicy fat white worms. And that's what she's looking for almost always. And next time, just like a farmer on rotational crop management, over a few weeks she could return to an area. There will be even more juicy grubs attracted to the area because of the compost and extra water that has arrived in the area, and the plant will be thriving. So there is a beautiful synergy that happens between the plants. All right, I'm just keeping an eye on where she is at the moment because she's right there. Difficult to see until she moves, and that is again exactly why in this dull vegetation, drought burned, we have had severe fires in many areas of the Western Cape. A shout out to everybody who survived those very damaging fires, but fortunately no houses have burned down recently that I know of, which is a big relief. This is of course a fire climax area, and while we're waiting for her to make an appearance, she's gone into a little hole for now. I would like to tell you all, and you too, Henrik, my friend from Sweden, that is part of your World Heritage Site. Yes, everybody, that is a UNESCO proclaimed World Heritage Site. That mountain range there is part of the Cape Floristic region, the Fynbos, Fynbos, as it's commonly known in this country, or Macchia, Macchia. Thank you for the likes and joining the channel. Just giving you a bit of a lay of the land while we're up here watching our mongoose as she visits the different areas around the olive orchard, which she has not visited for a few weeks now. So there must be lots of new tasty grubs. I will zoom in again when I see any movement from her. But for now, this is quite a good point of view up here. Yeah, these are my world famous shoes, by the way. For anybody out there, please do drop a comment. Have you got any shoes like this? It's a rhetorical question. Your answer can only be no. And the reason is nobody has shoes like this. Not because they are broken. That is because these are the only pair of shoes that have been marked by wild meerkats from the Ungulungu meerkat group and wild yellow mongoose from the TSEBOKOLODI yellow mongoose group. So I'm in fact a piece of mobile territory. This is an olfactory association which allows me to move into areas where I would otherwise not be tolerated. In fact, I could spark a territorial war if I had to move into an area with a different smell on my shoes. And that's why I've got different shoes for different areas that I visit. For example, up there in the Ungulungu meerkats territory, which stretches for many, many kilometers, and you can visit, come out, be part of animal adventures. I work as a gardener. Hey, well, that's fantastic. I myself, being a zoologist and botanist, of course, love gardening too. And that is also why I've planted these trees. Of course, if you come to visit in another 4,000 plus years, then you'll really start to see some beautiful olive trees, because of course they're some of the longest lived trees on the planet. I'm sure many people know this, but these are only little babies. Yeah, we need to be patient with olives. But as a wildlife researcher, I'm all about patience. Henrik, what do you do in your garden? Do you plant vegetables? I'm just wondering, because I know Sweden is extremely cold. Do you have a greenhouse facility? A way of maybe some hydroponics? All right, I'm I'm just checking. She's on a mission right now. She's gone into a burrow system. All of these mounds of sand that you can in fact see in this area are all part of her network of escape tunnels. So even though she has left her usual place where many people have watched on live streams of the Meerkat Mansion Research Base and all of the different networks of wildlife hotels that we are building, she is not far from any safety networks. Unfortunately, just beyond where I am now is a dead zone for our internet signal. We are going to be enlarging this, but oh, look at this. I definitely will give a shout out to our friend right there. Good morning. You're a bit late this morning. The mongoose has left already. Are you looking for her? This is, of course, the Karoo robin. You may know this from some of my videos I've been posting. This is also a world famous bird, this particular one, and that's why it's coming right up. It is following behind me, in fact, because it has learned very cleverly that I am often around the mongoose, and the mongoose often digs up food, little ant pupa, maybe a stray larva or a spider, and this is an insect-eating bird. Let's see if we can get a bit closer to it. It's very, very quick moving. Yeah, oh, it's difficult to spot, and that's exactly why. It's got very good camouflage as it moves between vegetation like this, very, very quickly darting in and out, chasing insects. Of course, unlike many of the gramnivores, or seed eaters, that is hunting all the time, food that is very, very quick. And there it's also going into the shade of the olive trees. The olive trees have a fantastic amount of food that they bring into the area. Thank you, Hendrik. I have a greenhouse, and I dig up dirt, and a lawnmower. Yeah, hey, well done. I myself dig up dirt. You may have noticed, look at this big area. This is all dug by hand. I've created water features here, all of those mounds of sand, while I'm building wildlife hotels, all dug by hand. And of course, that's because of the Stone Dojo gym. Anyone in the world, incidentally, this is open to the public, the Stone Dojo gym, martial arts dojo. It's the only outdoor gym that I know of, certainly in the whole area. And there you can see some of my very large boulders. Some of them weigh over a ton, 1,000+ kilograms. I've moved all of them there over many years by myself, by hand. No machinery has been used. But back to this area, yeah, gardening. I do a lot of digging, a lot. I dig up water holes in the old dried up riverbed areas to make water holes for the thirsty wildlife. I've already been doing that as the river has dried up. Usually there's water throughout the year. I'm going to give you some more geology. Maybe we will see it pop up again. If not, I'll be signing off soon, and I do appreciate everyone for visiting. I will be uploading many other videos over the day that I took this morning before the live stream. That is in fact an ancient riverbed. That is the far river bank. It's difficult to imagine, perhaps as a first-time viewer, but that is a riverbank. So in fact, right now, I am standing in what is known as an ancient or fossilized or extinct riverbed system, and that is what gives this characteristic reddish-brown appearance. It is, of course, full of iron oxide, kaolinite clay, and calcrete. For our geologist friends out there, you will know this very well. That is chalk, and chalk is laid down in ancient riverbed systems quite commonly, and of course the White Cliffs of Dover are very famous for it. Speaking of mountains and cliffs, that is the Outeniqua mountain range to the south, the barrier between us and the famous, what is called the garden route. Henrik the Gardener from Sweden. Yeah. We've got Plettenberg Bay, Neisner, Sedgefield, Dana Bay, Mossel Bay, all incredibly famous places. And there's often cloud cover over the mountain range, and it could even be raining there right now, and there won't be a drop of rain in this valley of the Little Karoo around Oudtshoorn in the Western Cape of South Africa. Again, the mountain range to the north is the Great Black Mountain Range. And if you have a look at my Meerkats book from 2016, which you can get in any university or library around the world, there are very few copies available commercially anymore. However, that Great Black Mountain Range creates this narrow valley of about 70 to 80 kilometers in places, and that is the reserve river, that thick area of greenery. It's like a jungle. We have so many wild animals living here because of these jungle ecosystems. And in the distance beyond that is the opposite bank of the river. So this was an enormous, enormous river, maybe thousands of years ago. But what it has done, it has layered down a lot of alluvial soil, and it has made a perfect sediment for digging animals to live in. Thank you for your views, everyone. I'm going to sign off for now. I hope to see you on the future live streams. Please do like, subscribe, and share. Have a beautiful day. All the very best.